be interesting actually in the finals to see what Cry's doing with his OM. I only caught a little bit of the gameplay here, not all of it. So I'm not too sure what he's doing. But here we go, Fen Dunlock is going to be the map here. We've got Bestie on his Lord General and Bruce Campbell rocking the Lord Commissar. Sky Silver over here with his yellow Tech Marine. And Blood Rain with a nice pretty Lord General. So it's going to be a hard Lord General mirror on this side. Blood Rain right now, not going for a Sentinel. Now, Seraph actually, who is currently in the chat, was telling me before that Blood Rain went for double Sentinels against Best Noob, and he got kind of wrecked by a fast Chimera, because of course, Sentinels, unlike Guardsmen, can't retreat. So if you get hit by a Chimera, and you're in the wrong spot, you're going to get wiped. I'm not sure whether or not the Koreans will be allowed in the lobby, actually. That is, as of yet, undecided. We'll find out later. That's an inside joke, guys. Don't worry, I'm not actually racist against Koreans. Got no problem with the Koreans, the Rus, or quite frankly, anyone. Except Ante. Sorry, Anne. I actually love you. I'm joking. Anyway, back to the game. So, we got a bit of a scrap on the eastern side there, which I expect that Blood Rain will lose because he just has Guardsmen. And that's kind of shitty against the Sentinel. Good use of the tank traps here. Going to give a lot of advantage to Bestie, you would expect. Lord General is reinforcing on the field, but of course remember, that is quite expensive. 25 rec there for each of those retinue members that the Lord General chooses to reinforce. On this side here, we've got tank traps being utilised by the Tech Marine. Tank traps, the bane of the IG, because they provide green cover, and unlike most green cover, you can't destroy the things by running them over with your Sentinel. So it can be very difficult to deal with indeed. A little bit of deployable cover coming up in the middle here. Nice use of that by Bruce. You can see the advantage that they get because these guys are only in light cover. So Bruce will take that engagement, of course aided by his buddy Bessie, coming over with a few Guardsmen as well. Can't be bad. Wow, it's been so long since I've observed a game live rather than casting replays or casting POV, and holy shit, yeah, the frame rate observing is horrendous. So if you guys see really bad frame rate, unfortunately that is just a thing that happens when you observe. Heavy weapons team here forced off by the Sentinel. A little bit of a misplay there by Blood Rain, pushing it too far forward, and really this is looking like a very bad spot here for the blue team. Not a lot of map control on their behalf. Sky's doing his usual thing, just running around, sort of ratting, capping the back lines. Now, because there's been a setup team, we see a Lask turret being deployed here by Best Noob. So you can use this as kind of soft counter as a suppression team. Of course, the turret itself doesn't get suppressed, so you can just outshoot your opponents, really. Repairing it from behind. It's going to be quite difficult to push against this. Is going to require the assistance of Sky Silver. They can probably brute force their way through it right now. They have enough units. Okay, going for the Flamers. Guess it makes sense if you got triple Guardsmen anyway. Attacks do a little bit of decapping over here, going to be forced off. I don't really know what the point of them decapping that was exactly. But right now we got a triple cap against the blue team, and it is not looking very good for them. I'm going to cast all of the series today, so, I mean, I'm doing them live, so unfortunately we're having to put up with the frame rate issues of the OBS, and as I say, we're already coming up to the finals, so this will be at most, well, at most 2 more games here and then 5 in the finals. No, sorry, 4 in the finals because of the 1 game lead that Cry and Piano will have, so 5 or 6 games. But then I'll be doing some games afterwards as well, POV, so the frame rate will be better. Looking kind of rough here, you know, you got your layers setup teams which are doing okay, but there's not really much aggression going on. Can't really push against the Sentinel, and it just feels like the red team have superior map control. Now, Bestie actually chosen to go for the Kadishans, which is quite surprising. I really thought when he was dropping the turret and he's seen that he got the bash here and denied the power, that he would have actually just gone for a fast tech, but not going to do that. Wow, look at this though as well. grenade launchers here on the Lord General. I guess that's kind of a no-brainer choice if you're fighting a heavy weapons team and triple guardsmen. But the nice thing here is it's long range and it also fires over the line of sight blockers. So very good here against these setup teams. So much bleed for the blue team, very difficult for them to deal with this. They do eventually push through. Can they get the bash? So we've only got Cadishans here, but the guardsmen are going to be coming out again. They can repair this scent. Looks like Bruce hasn't noticed the guardsmen going across over here. These guardsmen are very low on models though. Oh god. Yeah, I don't think they're getting this bash. There's no way. There's nothing else to support this. Just a tech marine. It's not enough to push through the sentinel. The scout snipers there actually shot the sentinel and may have had a chance to actually take it out. Still need to rotate and shoot the damn sent. What are they doing? Oh wow. They're firing at all kinds of different targets. Not very effective. Oh, Fufu's raiding. Thank you, Fufu. Welcome to all the Fufu viewers. I'm going to be casting the finals here. This is not the finals. I'm sure you guys are aware if you've been following Fufu. This is the finals for the losers bracket. And we're going to do some pubs afterwards. Right now, we're watching Bruce Campbell and Bestie play pretty damn well against the blue team here. A bit of a micro error there from Sky. Didn't refocus the Commissar, and unfortunately he is going to get in melee and start disrupting those devs. I feel like there's been a couple of opportunities here where the scout snipers could have taken out the sentinel. Where's that sniper? Oh, it's down here. Yeah, shooting guardsmen now. You know, the Sergeant and the Sniper Squad's becoming a more popular thing recently. I mean, not only does it give you access to that grenade, really you get it just for more durability. Just more HP. Which, in turn, makes you bleed a lot less. But, you know, having the extra bolter can be okay as well. Is this the final of this fake double elimination tournament? Why is it fake? What's fake about it? It's not fake. Yeah, the finals are going to be against the winner of this versus Piano and Cry. Who are playing Automalius and Space Marines, so it'll be quite interesting actually. I want to see how the Automalius can deal with the double IG. And I'm sorry to write off the blue team, but I'm not too optimistic about their ability to come back here. Now we do see that Blood Rain is in tier 2 and getting a Chimera on the way, so that's something. He might be able to push out once he gets this onto the field. Bestie's going for these Stormtroopers. I don't know if they're going to be just kept default. Probably will, to start with. Bruce going for the Psyker. We're seeing a lot of Psyker play recently. Psyker's becoming quite a contentious unit. The general consensus is he's a little bit OP at the moment. But it's interesting because when he first came out, people were really not playing him. And a lot of people told me they thought he was shite. But now it's quite different. So here we go, we got triple guardsmen along with the Chimera, gonna all get into it. Heavy weapons team is going to via mid. So they need to try and get a sentinel kill here with the snipers hopefully, and use the pressure from the Chimera to get a gen bash. Now Stormtroopers already have been upgraded to an assault kit, so there is no real hard AV right now. Now you've got plenty of transitional AV, you've got sentinels who already have the missile launcher. Let's see if we can get the wipe on the sentinel. Oh, double repairs, and that is going to be a creeping barrage, which is going to force the guardsmen into the Chimera for a moment. Obviously, they can't repair if they've been sent flying by the barrage. Chimera is now going to push forward. Now, with the triple repairs, you should be able to out-heal the DPS of the Sentinel. You can out-heal the DPS of the Lord General and the Sentinel, though, and really doesn't want to be showing rear armor. Lord General's getting very low. He does have to retreat. So yeah, really, Sentinel doing a great job here deterring the Chimera. The AV potential on the Sentinel is so powerful. So powerful. Now Sky has managed to push back Bruce as well. Where's that Psyker? Getting hit by snipers. Yeah, Psyker against double snipers is a bit strange. You'd think the snipers are pretty good, actually. What's this all about? Why is everyone calling each other little bro right now? I don't get this. Bit of an optimistic grenade there, Sky. Jesus. I know you're in the losers bracket, but this is the losers finals. The losers bracket finals, mate. You're not going to hit grenades like that. Sky going for his classic assault cannon dreadnought. He loves this. Pretty much does it all the time. Shield upgraded here on the heavy weapons team protects them from the knockback of the old reliable. But a flare is proving rather problematic for the blue team here, reducing all their range by 50%. And yeah, you see the snipers having to run way too close right there, getting melted by all the las guns. And now these frag missile sentinels can just deal with the heavy weapons team. Or at least you'd expect them to. Yeah. It's repairing, it's reinforcing off the Chimera at the moment. Now this guy with the heavy weapon itself, the heavy bolter, is actually die last. So every time he gets hit by the missiles, it's causing the other dudes to die, and then he's just reinforcing them. Which is quite expensive for Blood Rain's economy, but you know, it's meaning that he doesn't have to actually retreat the heavy weapons team, which has got to be worth something, but they really need to kill the Sentinels. And Sky is shooting for some reason at Guardsmen, which is not very good right now. We might see a juicy assault cannon barrage. They're going to have to retreat out of that one, because they were pinned down by the suppression. Managed to kill Lord Commissar as well, I didn't even know he was in there. So you missed it, Fufu, from earlier. Blood Rain went double Sentinel earlier against Bestie, who fast-teched into a Chimera and killed both of the Sentinels, and then it was basically game over, and Sky was having to carry. So that's probably why Blood Rain has done this. He did go for this Chimera, but unfortunately it wasn't as fast as he wanted, and he was deterred by the Melter Lord General and the Sentinel here, and didn't manage to pick up the Sentinel, which is kind of huge. Honestly, I feel like these guys, the blue team, would have had a pretty good shot here if they did manage to take out those Sentinels, but right now the Sentinels have been a pain in the ass. I mean, they're not out with it. You know, Blood Rain's got tier 3. They're just super far behind on VPs. It is kind of an easy map to defend 2 VPs on. You know, you plant some units here, you plant some units here. They're not too far away, and you can cover both VPs. Lord General here for Rain, getting very far forward. And this is quite a blob of Guardsmen. 4 Guardsmen and Stormtroopers going to push down here. That was a direct missile hit from the Sentinel on a Guardsman there. Yeah, double Sentinels. Another barrage attempt. Sentinels have to be quite careful with the Assault Cannon Dreadnought. It can be pretty spooky. And yeah, Rain needs to get repairing. Kadashin's such a good side capping unit. Basically 1v1 anything they come across, with a little bit of micro. What is with these Sentinels? Constantly getting perfect shots. Bizarre. This would be best of 3. I mean, it is best of 3, but Red Team have already won a game. So Blue Team have to win 2 more. Red Team only have to win 1 more to get to the finals. This might be the opportunity. He needs to push forward with the Chimera. Might be able to take out the Sentinel. Been a little bit too cautious here. If the Sentinel stops to shoot, that might be enough time to actually catch the damn thing and kill it. It really needs to keep running. You know, a little bit of hesitance there from Blood Rain. Yeah, he's not going to catch the Sentinel. It's too fast. The Sky's managed to take back the mid. This is actually looking decent for them. Sky is finally going tier 3 as well, so all players are going to be tier 3. I'm not sure what the game plan is here for Bruce and Bestie. Are they memeing, or are they actually getting their Lehmans? Bruce might go for a super heavy vehicle. Bruce might go for the Lehman. Sorry, the other way. Bruce might go for the super heavy. Bestie goes for the Lehman. That's what I'm kind of expecting right now. Whose IED is that? Oh, that is his IED. The way the Sentinel right now is countering the Chimera is kind of beautiful. What is Blood Rain saving up for? Stormlord? Baneblade. Probably the Baneblade, right? Yeah, the Baneblade. Because if you go Stormlord, you're going to be super vulnerable to Lehman Russ. And speaking of Lehman Russ now out for Best Noob. Use the Global to get it instantly and for a little bit less power. Obviously, he doesn't really need the power right now. He's got crazy amounts of power. It's interesting. The red team basically have infinite power, whereas the blue team really are kind of lacking power. Obviously, the red team haven't got bashed at all in this game. Baneblade for Bruce, as expected, so it's going to be Baneblade for both sides. Now, one little trick that you can do if you're the Tech Marine, if you hit the Baneblade with an Orbs of the Omnissiah, you can then one-shot it with Orbital Bombardment, because the snare from the Orbs of the Omnissiah lasts so long that the entire Orbital Bombardment plays through and they can't dodge it. So that is a trick that you have, but in general, you know, you've got Force Melee with Dreadnoughts under the Blessings of the Omnissiah, you've got the Melter Gun, you've got good AV as the Tech Marine. So we'll have to see how this Baneblade does, but obviously if this Baneblade is supported correctly, you just sit it in the mid, you don't let a Tech Marine get anywhere near you, you know, you've got Cadishans to knock it away with explosive shots and stuff. So we'll see, we'll see. AC Dread right now trying to force melee into the Sentinel, but unfortunately its Assault Cannon is shooting at Guardsman, which is not great for Sky. Punch and chase, and he should get it, I think. Probably wants to use Blessing of the Omnissiah. I don't know if he needs it. Gets it, gets the Sentinel, but there's a Melter Gun here on the Cadishans, needs to tie them up in melee. He's using Blessing of the Omnissiah. Ooh, snipers are firing at the Cadishans as well. Cadishans are getting super low. Has he got an Assault Cannon barrage? He has, and that will wipe the Cadishan Devils. But this is looking like a very scary force in the mid here. But there is a Baneblade to meet it. Where is the Baneblade of Bruce? It is on the way, not out quite yet. Oh, Jesus. Look at the damage there from the shockwave of that Primaris Psyker. A lot of damage coming into the Primaris Psyker. You've got that Assault Cannon, and the Baneblade now moves through the mid. It's going to punish some Stormtroopers. They're going to have to retreat. And a Demolisher Cannon onto the Cadishan Devils. Full damage in retreat. Nearly wipes them. Is this the final chance for Blood Rain to kill the Sentinel? Will he get it at last? He does with the Baneblade Cannon. But now there is a Baneblade for Bruce Campbell as well. Demolisher Cannon coming onto the Tactical Space Marines. Yikes. They've got to get out of there. Last Cannon Heavy Weapons team's here. We don't have a Last Cannon for the blue team. Sorry, for the red team. Oh, it's so confusing with the IG on both sides. Lehman Russ getting very low. Is this a Venerable Dreadnought? Or a Drop Pod? It is a Venerable Dreadnought dropped by Sky Silver, but speaking of dropped, he's dropping his micro and he lost his Tactical Space Marines in the mid. Lord General overextending in this instance. Baneblade is driving forward into the Heavy Weapons team, but it's got that shield, so you can't knock it over with your Demolisher Cannon. Very lucky right now that it's still affected by the flare. This could be quite bad for the Baneblade, getting snared by the Last Cannon now. There is the melee potential of the Vendread, but it looks like it's going to disengage. That's unfortunate. This Baneblade here from... Oh, fucking hell. Just annihilated the Heavy Weapons team there. Was that just a main cannon shot or what? Maybe it was a Vanquisher as well from Lehman. Okay, well now Blood Rain's Baneblade's in a bit of trouble because it's fighting a 2v1. There's a Vanquisher here. Vanquisher actually isn't firing. Just gonna shut up and watch for a minute. Oh man. Rocket Run goes through, but will it actually wipe? What's this? Cadishan Devils doesn't wipe anything. Lehman Russ is very low on HP though. The Baneblade needs to move up. Honestly, could do with a repair bunker at this point. No Orbs of the Omnissiah. Attack's going to go over to the side and get a decap. That's going to help the blue team with getting some of their VPs back. So the attacks get the decap, going to be forced off by the Lord Commissar here, who does have that power sword. And it's kind of an eternal battle in the middle here, just repairs coming in from each side. No actual Guardsman repairs here, just the blessings of the Omnissiah global repairs from the Tech Marine. Killing that last cannon for the blue team was kind of a big deal. Blood Rain now with a Lehman Russ as well. I think Sky Silver needs to really focus on this side, keep pressuring this VP and decapping it. You know, this was a 2-0 cap, so that is really it. A lot of time. It's a lot of time. What? 8 into a lot of the VPs for the red team. Bought the blue team a lot of time. I think that's what I was going for. Is that Demolisher Cannon on the Baneblade? Why would you use it? Oh, I see. That was the Emperor's Wrath. Wow. Look at the damage there from the Emperor's Wrath. Huge damage. What's this? An Assault Cannon Dreadnought getting hit by the Vanquisher. That was a nice lead there to push with the Emperor's Wrath. Chunk off a huge amount of HP onto that Baneblade. Vendred's just been AFK. Really think that Vendred should be pushing up the left-hand side with a scout squad to cap. And what's going on over here? We have Stormtroopers trying to take on Guardsmen. These Guardsmen have got flamers, so they're not all shooting. But there's a lot of Guardsmen, so they force off the Stormtroopers. Get wrecked, Stormtroopers. But the red team are taking back the mid, so it's going to be a 2-1 cap in favour of the red team for a while. Heavy weapons team is now out with the las cannon and the shield. That's gonna be very tough for the blue team to push against. No red from the blue team for nukes. Of course, Blood Rain already attempted that rocket run and failed to really kill any of the infantry, unfortunately for him. And I guess blessings to the Omnissiah for Mr. Stepan here. He's drained all of his red. P-Devs now, pretty good choice, but overextending them unfortunately. Lord Commissar going to get the revive here on the Lord General, it looks like. Indeed he does. For some reason the Tech Marine is just forcing melee. Damage coming onto the Baneblade here. We've got the Baneblade and the Leman from the blue team focusing the red team Baneblade as well as these Melter Gun shots. Dreadnought does manage to push through the last cannon. I mean, it's tanked a load of hits, but it's going to go down for sure. It's getting shot by the Leman Russ with a Vanquisher. But it's a heroic charge, right? It's forcing off the last cannon so that the Leman and the Baneblade here are free to advance. Demolisher's going to overshoot a little bit. Stoicism Dreadnought takes out the last cannon before it dies. Is it being kept alive by Blessing the Omnissiah? What's going on here? It's got 2 HP. What is this? Nothing is firing at it. Okay, now it dies. Oh my god, they pushed them back, but... Wow, the repairs are just insane. I guess no damage went onto the Leman, so all the repairs are coming onto the Baneblade right now. But the whole time Sky Silver has gone over and took over this. I didn't even notice what he's took it over with, but he's took it over with something, probably some scouts. That was a Manticore shot going in, trying to disrupt some of the repairs. We've got a Demolisher coming in on the Baneblade as well. Ooh, this could be a juicy Demolisher on the Guardsman. They try to retreat, they do retreat, but they lose a lot of models, and it means the repair support is now pushed off for the red team. No, well, there's a little bit of repair support. What's this? Is this double Guardsman? Yeah, it is, with very low models still on the field. Kadishan Devils over here, not really able to achieve a whole lot. They should probably be going down and pressuring this side with the Stormtroopers. Is there anything to protect the VP? There's not. Major slip up here from the blue team. They need to get something over there to protect the VP. We've got idle P-Devs. We've got a Predator that spawned. That Predator could go over to the east side and protect the VP. Protecting their natural right now is going to be vital. Neither team has the center VP right now. It is a 0 cap all around. Guardsmen moving in with just their sergeant. They're not going to be able to do this. Is this a rocket run? Oh, this is a rocket run. This is going to be wiped squads. It is well aimed, and a well executed rocket run is going to kill one of those Guardsmen and one of these scouts. Manticore Strike now going in, and a retreat path. Emperor's Wrath. That is a lot of damage. Is this another rocket run or a creeping barrage? Creeping barrage. No red Blood Rain for the rocket run. Another heavy weapons team on the field for Bestie with the last cannon, I'm afraid. Ah, the repair support has gone for the blue team. They haven't got the repair support, boys. I think that's the end of it. Sky at some point dropping his scouts, and Guardsman dying there from the nuke. It's a problem. Nice P-Dev shots. Able to deny this VP. And the Lord General here for Blood Rain is going to get the natural back, so it's still a 1-1 cap. It is a 1-1 cap, so red team needs to do something to get rid of this P-Dev, because they can't cap right now. The P-Dev does ability knockback, so it's one of the greatest tools in team games for preventing people from capping VPs. Even if you've got Terminators, you can't cap the VP if a P-Dev's shooting at you. So it's probably going to be the job of the Casakin here. Flank around the side using their sprint ability, drop a grenade on this bad boy. Oh man. Baneblade pushing up right into the Vanquisher, and the enemy Baneblade doesn't feel too good. There you go, there's the attack onto the P-Devs. But Oh, they are forced off. They're forced off, so now there's nothing to prevent the cap here. So the Guardsmen are going to get on it. 3 heroic models on that Guardsman squad. Tactical Marines are moving up the side, but they're a little bit too close to the Baneblade, eating a lot of shots there. They're going to go try and get the decap on the natural of the red team. The Guardsman can't cap that. Oh, Demolisher Cannon comes in and wipes that Guardsman squad. Vendread. No, it's not a Vendread. It's just an Assault Cannon Dreadnought that thinks it's a Vendread. Charging into melee here. Twin-linked Las Cannon Predator, taking a lot of damage, exposing its rear armor, but it got the damage that it needed to get in to kill the Baneblade of Bruce Campbell. Bruce Campbell is now going to be going for a second Manticore. Probably a mistake. Probably needs a few more tanks on the field right now. We've got a very tanky level 4 Tech Marine in the middle here with a Refractor Shield going for the cap, but he is not going to be able to cap it in time, I do not think. Nope, because there is an Emperor's Wrath called in by the Lord Commissar, which will wipe him. Lord General attempts to take over the cap, but instead it's going to be a Guardsman squad. But a creeping Basilisk Barrage from Best Noob is going to stop the Guardsman from getting that cap, and in fact the whole time there were shots from that Lehman Rush with a Vanquisher going into the Baneblade, and Blood Rain's Baneblade is going to perish. Tactical Marines were successful in getting the decap, but unfortunately Bruce Campbell did force them off and now caps his natural. And it looks like it's going to be a victory for the red team because there is nothing to prevent the Lord Commissar here for the red team from capping the mid. What a game that ended up being. Piano shit-talking in the stream chat. This wouldn't be a tournament if we didn't have shit-talk from Piano in the stream chat. Desperate plays here from the Lord General, trying to get the decap on the mid, but it's going to be in vain. Too much DPS there for him to be able to finish the cap. And that is going to be GG. Nothing able to come over and contest in time. You know, the tanks are en route, but we've got Guardsmen there defending. We've got a couple of Manticores to disrupt as well. I must be good at cunning Lingus. You know it, boy. You know it. I do all kinds of things with my mouth. All kinds of things. Not analingus though. I'm not down for that. It's becoming a very popular trend, is the good old analingus. I don't know why. That's a question for the chat. Have you ever engaged in analingus? If so, how? Have you been the receiver? Have you been the giver? Please, let your fellow DAO fans know. To answer Vaxed question in the chat here, does the Tech Marine Repair Global affect allied vehicles too, or just his own? It does in fact affect your allied vehicles, so it's very, very strong in team games. Very, very strong, especially 3v3. Very good for those big free army pushes in the late game. But it did mean that he didn't have any red. It did mean he didn't have any red for an orbital bombardment, so he couldn't do that play. You know, just think. That Tech Marine got very close to that Baneblade in spite of all the infantry support. All it takes is one Orbs of the Omnissiah and then an orbital bombardment and you kill that Baneblade. But I guess there would have been a bit more defense of the Baneblade if they seen the Orbs of the Omnissiah and the Tech Marine, but then again, he could have got it last second, you know, he ran up without it, got it as he got closer to the Baneblade, you know, timed the upgrade to surprise his opponents. But anyway, there you go, the losers bracket finals is going to go to the blue team, Bestie and Bruce Campbell, so the grand finals is going to be the IG boys versus the Chad Marines. Space Marines and Ordo Malleus versus double Imperial Guard. Crying Piano will be the opposition. I don't know if they're going to be playing straight away or if they need a little bit of a break.